Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are firing up the pit and breaking down the techniques behind 3 absolutely legendary styles of barbecue ribs. If you've ever wanted to master that perfect backyard sensory experience, where you can literally smell the post oak burning, hear the fat sizzling, and see that gorgeous smoke ring, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going deep into the science, the craft, and the art of the perfect rib. Close your eyes and imagine the ultimate rib experience for a second. Picture the tender flecks of the meat as you pick it up, the rich, deeply infused wood smoke, and that perfectly textured crust on the outside. It's a feast for the eyes and the hands way before it ever actually hits your palate. But how do you guarantee that exact result every single time? Well, let's explore exactly how to achieve it by looking at the master techniques used by the pros. I want to kick things off with this incredibly mouth-watering concept from pitmaster Malcolm Reed. He completely hits the nail on the head when describing the sheer indulgence of a massive Texas beef rib. Just think about that combo for a second. A ribeye steak crossed with the fattiest point of a brisket, all sitting beautifully right on the bone. I mean, it's the ultimate barbecue bite, and it absolutely sets a high bar for what we're trying to achieve today. So to reach that crazy level of perfection, here is our roadmap. We're going to walk chronologically through prepping for the pit, mastering the smoke, the wrap and rest phase, the finishing touches, and finally, crafting the perfect BBQ bite. We'll be looking at Memphis dry ribs, giant Texas beef ribs, and sweet and spicy hot honey pork ribs. Let's dive in. Step 1. Prepping for the pit. Every great barbecue journey actually starts right on the cutting board, way before the meat ever sees the fire. This is the foundation where you set the stage for that picture-perfect final product. Just look at how wildly different the starting lines are for these regional styles. For a Memphis style using St. Louis pork ribs, you actually don't use a binder at all. You just rely entirely on the meat's natural juices to help the simple seasoning stick. Then you've got the Texas style using massive beef plate ribs. Again, no binder, but they go incredibly heavy on a coarse salt and pepper mix to build up a really crunchy exterior. And finally, for the hot honey style, we use a garlicky hot sauce as a binder to grip a spicy hot rub. It's 3 entirely different canvases, each engineered for a very specific flavor and texture. Alright, so with the ribs carefully trimmed up, membrane removed, squared away for a beautiful presentation, and perfectly seasoned, it's time to remember the golden rule of the pit. Truly spectacular barbecue absolutely cannot be rushed. You are crafting a masterpiece out there, and patience is, for sure, your most vital tool. Moving right along to mastering the smoke. This is where the real magic happens, guys. It's where the steady roll of wood smoke fundamentally transforms the meat. So temperature is absolutely crucial here, and it varies drastically depending on the animal. Memphis and hot honey pork ribs, they run slow and steady at 275 degrees Fahrenheit, usually over a wood like hickory. But those giant marble Texas beef ribs, they need a hotter fire. You want them sitting right at 300 degrees, burning classic Texas post oak wood. That extra heat is completely necessary to start rendering down that massive amount of dense, rich beef fat. Now let's talk about bark. Bark isn't just burnt seasoning, it's a complex, beautiful chemical reaction. Especially on those Texas beef ribs, you actively want that coarse salt and pepper to form a crunchy, meteor-like crust to contrast with the super rich, velvety meat underneath. It's an absolutely non-negotiable part of the authentic barbecue experience. Fast forward a few hours on the smoker, and you're going to want to look out for what pitmasters call drawback. This is a massive visual cue. When that meat starts to shrink and pull away, exposing the tips of the bones, it's literally signaling to you that the fat and connective tissues are softening up. It's essentially nature's thermometer, letting you know you're getting super close to the wrapping phase. But hey, visual cues aren't everything. We also need some precision. While Memphis ribs are generally good to go when they pass the flex test, which just means they feel like they could easily fold in half when you pick them up, Texas beef ribs demand exact temperatures. You are hunting for a butter-soft sweet spot right between 202 and 210 degrees Fahrenheit internally. Your thermometer probe should slide in with zero resistance, none at all. Okay, so once that gorgeous, photogenic color and bark are established, we can't just leave the ribs totally exposed to the dry heat forever. We have to protect the meat to finish breaking down those tough connective tissues without drying the whole thing out. Which brings us to the wrap and rest phase. If you want that literal melt in your mouth, pull apart tenderness, this is exactly how you get it. Let's look at the hot honey braise wrap, which takes what could be a super messy process and turns it into a repeatable science. You lay down a double layer of foil and pour in a warm mix of brown sugar, apple juice, spicy honey, and vinegar. But here is the brilliant Pitmaster insider trick. You place slices of cold Irish butter directly over the bones. Because the butter is cold, it melts slowly, which actually prevents those backbones from bursting through the foil as the meat steams. Then you just crimp it tightly to lock all that moisture in. But here's a real game changer. The wrap you choose completely dictates your final texture. Pork ribs use tightly sealed foil to heavily braise the meat in its own juices and sweet liquids. Texas beef ribs, on the other hand, require porous, breathable butcher paper. It softens the meat up a bit, but crucially, it preserves that hard-earned, crunchy bark we talked about earlier. All right, after pulling these beautifully tender ribs off the pit, pitmasters use a technique called burping the cooler. Sounds kind of funny, right? Basically, while the meat rests in a cooler, you pop the lid open every 15 minutes just to let out the excess steam. This makes sure they stay safely warm and reabsorb all their interior moisture, tightening up perfectly without accidentally overcooking in a mush. Following a proper rest, it's time for the finishing touches. It's time to unwrap these beauties like barbecue presents and apply the final stylistic signatures. This is where it all comes together. At this finish line, two vastly different masterpieces emerge. For the Memphis style, you carefully dust the wet ribs with a fresh layer of dry rub and return them to a low 225-degree pit for 15 minutes. This dries them out and really fortifies that deep, savory crust. The hot honey style, however, gets glazed with BBQ sauce and a drizzle of spicy honey. They stay on the heat just long enough to turn into a sticky, sweet, and spicy candied shellac. I mean, they literally look like they've been painted. Finally, we reach the perfect barbecue bite. We've made it to the cutting board. This is where all that smoke, spice, technique, and patience culminates into the ultimate sensory experience. And when it comes to flavor harmony, especially with those giant, rich Texas beef ribs, we've got an amazing culinary twist. To combat the incredibly heavy, melted tallow of the beef, Pitmaster Alonso deploys a brilliant secret weapon, a fresh pico de gallo. Made with Roma tomatoes, diced onion, fresh cilantro, jalapeno, and a heavy squeeze of lemon juice, this highly acidic topping cuts right through the fat of the beef rib. It balances the palate so you can savor every single bite without feeling weighed down. It's an absolutely fantastic pairing. You see, ultimately, barbecue is a deeply sensory craft. It's not just about taste. It's recognizing the sweet, comforting smell of baking cookies radiating from your smoker during a Memphis foil wrap. It's feeling the perfectly tender flex of the meat in your hands. It's experiencing the slow, spicy burn of a hot honey bite. You are engaging literally all of your senses. So, we've broken down the fundamental anatomy of the perfect rib, from the cutting board all the way to the final glaze. The only question left is this: which regional flavor profile are you going to challenge yourself to master next? Fire up the pit this weekend, trust your senses, and find out. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you on the next one.